Today, we're going to dive deep into Bam Adebayo's season, an NBA season that started slowly but now shows all the promise of a turnaround as the Miami Heat are coming back from the All-Star break. In the opening months of the season, Bam was terrible. He faced an uphill battle. He was inconsistent. His performances were noticeably subdued, but despite his undeniable talent as a two-way player, he experienced a slow start marked by inconsistent shooting. He was hesitant in the paint. He was missing at the rim. And he had a few lapses even in his trademark defensive intensity and allowed players like Yusuf Nurkic and other crappy centers to dominate him early in the season. During those early games, it seemed as though the spark for Bam Adebayo was missing. His energy just, for some reason, wasn't translating onto the court. And his struggles were evident, not only with his individual statistics, but also in the rhythm of the team, which sometimes faltered in their execution. So critics have questioned whether this dip in performance was a temporary blip or a sign of larger issues for Bam Adebayo. People were questioning whether or not Bam should have been a max player. People were questioning whether Bam was a top 25 player. But as we know, even the best athletes in the NBA can hit a rough patch. And sometimes a slow start is just a prelude to a major comeback. So Bam Adebayo, if we fast forward to recent games, and you can see there's been a palpable change in Bam's approach and his attitude. And just before All-Star break, he began to rediscover his rhythm. His shot selection improved. His drives to the basket became more decisive. His mid-range pull-up game and touch came back a little bit. He reestablished his presence as a dominant force in the paint. He has been getting a ton more alley-oops from Tyler Hero and from Duncan Robinson as well. So that has been huge. This resurgence has been characterized by also increased court awareness and more confident decision-making. And Bam is no longer just reacting. He is dictating the pace of the game. He is the Miami Heat's captain. He is showing why he is one of the most important players on this team and why he is a three-time All-Star and two-time gold medal Olympian. So whether it's drawing defenders and creating space for his teammates or by taking on a more assertive role on the defensive end, he's proving that he can be the catalyst that this team needs. Even though the last four games did not translate into wins, it was not all on Bam Adebayo's shoulders. His recent performances, though, have not only boosted his own stats, but have also provided a surge of confidence for the entire team. And so the Heat are beginning to see the value back in Bam's game, and he's setting the stage for what could be a crucial second half of this season. So if we look at Bam Adebayo's statistics for the season, they're down from last year. Shooting percentages are still significantly down, but they're getting better. He was shooting 42% at the beginning of the year from the field. Last season, he was shooting 52. The season before that, 54, 55, 57. You get the drift. This is the first time in his career that he's shooting below 50% from the field. But he went from 42 to 47, so that has increased. He's averaging 16.7 points. That was at 15 point something, so that is increasing. Last year, 19 points per game, so his points have fallen. His rebounds have fallen slightly from 10.4 last season to 10.1. His assists have gone up, so he's showing that improvement on the playmaking side. He's averaging 4.5 assists this season. Last season, he was averaging 3.9. Three-point shooting is not great. He's taking only 2.6 attempts, but he's averaging 29%. Last year, he was averaging 35, but only on 0.6 attempts. Bam started shooting threes at that last 15 games of the season last season, so that's not very telling. But what is telling is in the last 9 games, Bam Adebayo has been playing amazing. He's been averaging 22.4 points per game. He's been averaging 11.4 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists. In the last 7 games alone, he has hit a three-pointer. And also in his last 9 games, he is 12 for 29 from 3, which is 41%. So Bam has turned the corner. We just need him to stay consistent. These numbers are elite. If he was putting up these numbers all season, he would have 100% been an all-star. So if we look forward to the final 29 games of the season, they present both a challenge for this Miami Heat team as they're a new young team without Jimmy Butler, and it also presents new opportunities. So for Bam and the Heat, every possession counts, every game counts, which will help them inch closer to their playoff ambitions, and they need to avoid the play-in. So here's what needs to happen for a strong finish, I think. So one, they need to sustain the momentum. So Bam must continue to build on the current wave of improvement, and consistency is key. If he builds on this momentum, the Miami Heat will have momentum. He needs to maintain his aggressive style while ensuring that his shot selection remains sharp and purposeful. He needs to enhance his playmaking. He's been doing that in the month of February. So with defenses adjusting to his early season struggles, now is the time for Bam to become even more of a facilitator by drawing defenders and finding open teammates. He can help unlock this offense with Tyler Hero, since we don't have any other real ball handler besides Tyler. He needs to keep up his defensive intensity. So his ability to protect the rim, but he doesn't have to do as much now, right? Because we have Khalil Ware, but still, he can protect the rim, disrupt opposing offenses. He could help on the perimeter and stay locked in. And he could definitely help ignite fast break opportunities and transition opportunities for the Miami Heat when he gets into those passing lanes and gets those deflections for his teammates. Bam has to continue to evolve also, and as teams adjust their game plans, his ability to adapt through it as an improved perimeter player and someone who has to work on his post moves will be essential. So he needs to adapt, and the Miami Heat will be fine. So while Bam's resurgence is a positive sign, basketball is a team sport. So for the Heat to finish this season on a high note, a collective effort is required. So it's not, again, just on Bam Adebayo in terms of this team making a playoff push. So again, offense, this team is 24th in scoring right now in points per game. So this team, they need to elevate their ball movement. They need to improve their spacing. They need quicker passing, and they need to exploit defenses. So this is going to be huge. They need to strengthen their offensive chemistry if they want to have any chance of making a run out of the play-in. They need to boost their defensive cohesion, so communication on defense needs to be sharp. They're 9th in defensive rating, which is fine. Last year they were 5. So if they want to get back in the top 5, they need quicker rotations. They need more help defense. They need to switch better. They need to help with the point of attack right now and defend that perimeter. Because right now they have Bam and Khalil on the inside interior, so they're fine in that area. They need to maximize their bench contributions. So again, Terry Rozier has been terrible. I don't know if he'll be in the rotation moving forward, but we need someone like Alec Burks to step up, Pella Larson to step up, Jaime Jaquez needs to step up. He's having a huge slump, but depth becomes crucial, and the bench players must step up, providing consistent scoring and energy, and they have not done that all year. This will allow the starters to remain fresh, and it's something that we need. The last thing is Spo. He needs to step up. The coaching staff needs to implement strategic adjustments. They need to call challenges when applicable. They need to call timeouts when they should. They need to have better rotations, better substitution patterns. They need to help focus on putting the right players in at the right time, finding the right closing lineups. And so these tweaks are going to be significant. And Eric Spoelstra has been having a bad season. He needs to address these areas to help transform the Heat's opportunity to avoid the play-in. So going back to Bam Adebayo, as the season enters its critical phase, again, Bam's resurgence is a beacon of hope for the Miami Heat, in my opinion. His individual efforts and the collective adjustments that I mentioned earlier by the Heat provide a clear path forward for this Miami Heat team to avoid the play-in. That's the key. You need to avoid the play-in. This team needs to be the 6th seed, and they need to grow and develop and take this experience from this season and take those lessons into the next season and the following few years so they can develop quickly into a young and formidable team. So for these final 29 games, they're going to be foundational, again, for the Miami Heat's future. So stay tuned as we continue to follow Bam's journey in the Miami Heat's pursuit for a playoff push. And so that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.